So I made a rhythm game in 8 days. This all starts, well, a few days ago, where I asked a friend of mine what type of game to make, and he told me to make a rhythm game.
Could you, make me a rhythm game?
So I started looking for assets, but I didn't want to make my own, so... Perfect! Let me just... yoink! With the assets, it was now finally time to actually start making a playable character. I decided to go with the coyote as it was first and it looked quite cool. After adding some collisions, I started coding, basing the player script off of the built-in Godot 2D player character controller. And after a while, we had dashing. And yes, I know that the ghosting feature doesn't flip when you go left or right, but that's not a bug, it's just a feature. Have I explained what the idea for the game is yet? No? Well, basically, it's a rhythm game, no duh, where you have a gun, and the gun shoots on the beat of the song. So I think by now it's time to make a song, so I made one quickly, and here it is. You're gonna have to play the game if you want to hear the rest of this song. Anyway, I made a small map for the game and added in the music, and now it's time for... onto enemies now, on which I started with a maggot. I started coding the AI for it, and then this happened. Yeah. So around about this time, I had a problem with the music as well, that the music wouldn't loop properly. So, I decided, it's not a bug, it's a feature. I'm not going to make the music loop, I'm gonna make it that you have to complete a task before the music finishes. Anyway, using the same process as before, I added a new enemy, which is a fish with a gun for some reason, and I updated the map, which you'll now see. As you saw there, I also added a grade system and a health bar. Now I personally think that makes this level finished, apart from some little tweaks that I made later on. So now it's time to go on to the second level. For the second level, I wanted to add some lighting, and this was pain. It was horrible. I spent hours inside of the documentations, but eventually I managed to get something decent working. Woo! Really, that's the only problem I had with level 2. I just copied a little and just added more light sources. Anyway, on to the third and final level. Editing Anto here. Sorry, but it turns out that I don't have any recordings of me making the boss apart from the final video of it finished. But I can tell you that it was decently easy to make, and I also in this time implemented a pause menu, my first ever, and also a bar that tells you how much time you have left. So for some final touches, I added a main menu, I made some music, and I think the game is done now. So now the game's on itch.io. If you'd like to play it, I recommend downloading it from there, as the website version can be a little offbeat at times. I hope you all enjoyed that video. If you would like to help, I do have donations set up on the game in itch.io. If you'd like to play the game, the link is down in the description below. Thank you all and have a nice day.